Welcome to V Guide. In this video, I'm going to discuss the chapter Current Electricity. What is called current? Current is nothing but rate of flow of charges. Current means rate of flow of charges. Rate of flow of charges, I can write I equals dq by dt. That means the change in the charge with respect to time. Okay. Then this equation in simple form we can write as I equals q by t also. But you can just extend a little more. In few questions in 12th class they can ask like what is q? dq is, if you cross multiply this equation, dq equal I dt. So if you want q, you have to integrate it. So I am telling a new equation now. Q equals integral of I dt and I equals dq by dt. These are the two equations in little higher form. Okay, simple equation we know q by t, that's a meaning. But if the charge changes with time or the current also as it changes with time, I can find the charge by using the equation integral of I dt. Clear? Now, what is the unit of current? Ampere. 1 ampere I can write as 1 coulomb by 1 second. Next one I am talking about charge. We know that there are positive charges as well as negative charges are there. Okay, so I can take that electrons are flowing from negative terminal to a positive terminal. Whereas the positive charges are moving from positive to a negative terminal. But we have taken the direction of current as from positive to negative. That is opposite to the movement of electrons. Electrons are moving from negative to positive. But the current direction we are taken from positive to negative. That means it is nothing but the movement of a positive charge. Clear? So that is the main thing you have to remember. What is the direction of current? It is from positive to negative. Another main quantity you should remember is, just now I told about the direction, but it is not a vector quantity. Our current is not a vector quantity because it does not obey the laws of vector addition. So main things I told you now. What's equation for current? I equals dq by dt. Q equals integral I dt. The direction of current we are taken from positive to negative. That is nothing but opposite to the movement of electrons. Another one very important point is current is not a vector quantity because it does not obey the laws of vector addition. Okay, in this chapter itself we will come to that. What is vector addition and all. Now, the basic thing of your current chapter is Ohm's law. What is Ohm's law? Let this be a wire. Okay, through this wire, I is the current flows through this wire. If they are asking the potential difference between these 2 points A and B, okay, I need to find the potential difference between A and B. We found that the potential difference is directly proportional to the current. Okay, it means what we can tell that as the potential difference increases, current also increases. For that, they have taken an example. If you take a 1.5 volt cell, for example, you are getting 1 ampere current. You are using a 3 volt cell, you may get 2 ampere current. If you are using a 4 volt cell, you may get 3 ampere current. Or see 4.5 volt if you use, we will get a 3 ampere current. I have given like a random values only. 1.5 volt 1 ampere. 3 volt 2 ampere, 4.5 3 ampere, like that if I write, what's the meaning? As the voltage increases, the current also increases. So I can write V is directly proportional to I. For removing proportionality, I'll keep a constant. That constant is called R. So you can write V equals IR. This is our basic equation for our Ohm's law. V equals IR. Where R is the constant of proportionality called resistance. What is called resistance? It is nothing but the property of the wire to obstruct or resist the flow of current. The property to obstruct or to resist the flow of current is termed as resistance. It is denoted with letter R and it is measured in terms of unit ohm. So what is 1 ohm? 1 ohm equals 1 volt by 1 ampere. Because if you write from here, I can write R is nothing but V by I. So I can write 1 ohm is equal to 1 volt by 1 ampere. Then, have you heard a term called resistor? So there is a component. The component which gives resistance is called a resistor, and the symbol of resistor is this. Okay, we will mark it like this. So what is the meaning? This material or this component offers resistance to the circuit. And this component is called by the name resistor and it offers resistance, right? So what is the main thing I told? The potential difference across 2 points of a wire is directly proportional to current flows through a wire. This is not over. You have to write here, provided temperature should be constant. So I am just adding one more point, provided at constant temperature. That is the very important point. Okay, so now you got it clear, I feel. So this point I did not write because many of the people will write till here only. But this is very important. It is provided at constant temperature. Clear? So it is not compulsory in all the time V is proportional to I. That will happen only at which one? I change the color because it will happen only at constant temperature. As the current temperature increases, it won't satisfy this rule. Clear? So Ohm's law I can call as potential difference across any 2 points of a wire is directly proportional to the current flowing through the wire provided at constant temperature. Clear? Because it should be at constant temperature, otherwise the current varies. Clear? Now, there are certain materials which follows Ohm's law. Those materials are called ohmic conductors. So conductors which obey Ohm's law is called ohmic conductors. Those conductors, if you take the V and I in a graph, we can see that V and I graph is a linear graph. As V increases, I increases. But there are certain conductors which do not follow the Ohm's law and they don't show a linear graph, they show a non-linear graph. So I can take this example as the case what I mentioned before. I told you here at constant temperature. Say for example, after some time the temperature is changing. Definitely it follows a straight path up to a point and after that it is changing. What's the meaning? Up to this point the temperature is constant. After the temperature is not constant. So it's showing a non-linear behavior. This is the graph for a diode. Okay. Diode you will learn in the semiconductor chapter. It's a semiconductor device. And see, this is gallium arsenide. That also it's a semiconductor, compound semiconductor. And this also, it won't, current and voltage graphs are not linear. They shows a non-linear graphs. So I hope you understood what I told. What is Ohm's law? The potential difference across 2 points of a wire is directly proportional to the current provided at constant temperature, and ohmic conductors and non-ohmic conductors. We explain ohmic and non-ohmic. Ohmic means which obeys Ohm's law. Non-ohmic means it does not obey Ohm's law. Now I am going for the next topic called what are the factors affecting resistance. The resistance I told you we can write with the letter R. The resistance of a material or resistance of a wire, it depends on the length of the wire, that is R proportional to L. It depends upon the area, but it depends inversely. Here it depends directly means, area means it direct inversely. So inversely means what's the meaning? As area increases, resistance decreases. So resistance directly proportional to length, resistance inversely proportional to area. And also resistance depends on nature of material. Also, resistance depends on temperature. As temperature increases, resistance also get increases for a conductors. So what I told, you can write it R proportional to L by A. It is resistance directly proportional to length, resistance inversely proportional to area. For removing proportionality, I'll keep a constant, that is rho. Rho, it means resistivity. Rho is rho L by A. So you will get an important equation now. R is equal to rho L by A, where rho is called the resistivity, or we call specific resistance. So I have written here, rho is the resistance of material of unit length and unit area of cross section. What is the meaning? I can write R is nothing but equal to rho, provided that L should be 1 meter and A should be 1 meter square. In this case, if you substitute, I'll get R equal to rho. So I can write resistance of a material of unit length and unit area of cross section, I can term as resistivity or specific resistance, and its unit is equal to ohm meter. Okay, how it is ohm meter? Because if you are writing an equation for rho, it is equal to RA by L. So it is ohm meter square by meter. Meter get cancelled. So what's the unit? Ohm meter. Clear? So factors affecting resistance are length, area, nature of the material and temperature. Clear? Now, next I'm going for a case. How the resistance varies. Okay, till now I told about what are the factors. But this is special case. Okay, this is a special case. When a wire of length L, you stretch to a wire of length NL. So first length was L, now I am stretching its length to NL. What happened for the resistance? So I used my standard equation rho L by A. After that, I am multiplying numerator and denominator with L. So rho L square by AL. That is rho L square by AL. Area into length is called volume. Now I know that if I am stretching also, rho depends upon the resistivity of the material, nature of the material never changes. V, it is not changing. So I can write R is proportional to L square because rho and V are constant. It's a very important question for competitive exams and for other exams. R proportional to L square. Just now only I told R is proportional to L. You people will get confused what I am telling. So this is there, R is equal to rho L by A. If they are given directly, 10 meter wire is there. After that, like a 20 meter wire if you take for the same material, what will happen? Directly proportional. But in the question, if it is stretched, this word is there means you should be careful. Stretched. So in stretching case, R proportional to L square. Clear? So I am just writing first R is proportional to L, next R is proportional to NL. So if you are substituting, I will get R2 is equal to N square of R1. Clear? Same thing. For a same stretched case, you are taken for area. Now we know if you stretch a wire, definitely the area of cross section will get decreased. So that's what I wrote. First area. When a wire of cross sectional area A stretched to a wire of area A by N, then the resistance R is same equation rho L by A. Here you are multiplying numerator and denominator with A. That is only one thing you remember. So rho LA by A square. A cancel. So rho V by A square. In this case, we know that whole are constant, rho and V are constant. So I can write the equation R inversely proportional to A square. Very important point you should remember. So R is inversely proportional to A square. And we know for a wire we are taking circular cross section. Therefore area is pi R square. So I can write it as it is inversely proportional to R power 4. For a stretching case, you have to remember these things. R is proportional to L square. R is inversely proportional to A square. R is inversely proportional to R to the power of 4, where R is radius. Clear? So these are the factors affecting resistance when we stretch a wire. Clear? I want to discuss another case from this. Okay? So in this question, it is not a stretching. Two wires of same material of ratio of resistance 1:4, length L1:L2, 1:2, then find the ratio of the masses. So I am given a question in which they gave it in the question resistance, length, and they are asking for mass. Just now we have seen many equations, but in no equation I told about the mass. So they can ask like that also. So I am just writing the given quantity, resistance R1/R2 1/4, length L1/L2 1/2, resistance R1/R2 we don't know. So write equation R is equal to, this one what we need to find out, M1/M2 we should find out. M1/M2 we don't know. So I am writing an equation R is equal to rho L by A. We are multiplying both numerator and denominator with L. So rho L square by AL. So rho L square by V. Right? Because area into length is volume. Volume I have written. Then you should remember they told the material, same material. So I am changing volume in terms of mass by density. Density is equal to mass by volume. Therefore volume is equal to mass by density we are writing. Then after that, in this we know that which are constant, rho and d are constant because both the wires are same material. So R1/R2 is equal to, you can keep this equation in a box. R1/R2 is equal to L1/L2 the whole square into M2/M1. This equation you can use only for the same material. So M1/M2 is equal to L1/L2 the whole square into R2/R1. L1/L2 is 1/2 the whole square into 4/1. So what is the answer? 1:1 is the answer. So remember resistance, I am giving one more equation. R equals rho L square D by M. Rho L square D by M. Clear? So I told many equations for resistance. This equation rho L square D by M. And I told what are the factors depends when the wire is stretching. And then I told what are the general factors depends on the resistance. And I told about the non-ohmic and ohmic conductors. And we did what is Ohm's law we did. Right? Then we did which one? First one. What is the equation for current? I equals dq/dt. I hope you like this video. If you like this video, subscribe our channel V-Guide TV. Subscribe for more videos. Thank you.